Good morning, students. Myself, Dr. Monica Khetarpal. I am Associate Professor of Physics in Government Dungar College, Bikaner. I welcome you all in the enlightening session of MSc Final Physics. I am dealing with the fifth paper, that is Condensed Matter Physics. Today, we are going to start the unit 4th. Unit 4th is all about superconductivity. So, in our today's lecture, we will discuss about the basic definition of superconductivity, and we will also explore that what are the conditions on which basis the materials are superconductors. So, I am beginning my presentation and showing you about the materials superconductivity. Superconductors are the materials which have zero resistivity. As resistivity and conductivity are inversely proportional, so the materials which have zero resistance, they will have infinite conductivity. That means the materials which possesses infinite conductivity, that materials are termed as superconductors. And we can term superconductivity as the phenomena occurring in materials which have zero electrical resistance. And we will see that in the interior, the magnetic field is also zero. So this is the basic definition of superconductivity. Here I have shown the graph between resistance and temperature. As I have stated that superconductors are the materials which have zero resistivity. It is found that if a material is cooled, then its resistance decreases. Then it is found that for certain materials, it drops to zero at a particular temperature. This feature is exhibited by certain materials. Not all kind of materials do not exhibit this kind of behavior. The materials other than this type of behavior, for them, the resistance is shown by blue line. On decreasing the temperature, it is found that their resistance continuously goes on decreasing. Whereas for special materials, which I am discussing today, that is superconductors, T drops to zero at a particular temperature. This temperature is termed as critical temperature. This particular feature was initially discovered by K-Ons. This was discovered in the case of solid mercury. The graph which I have shown, in this graph, the temperature at which mercury resistance drops to zero, the temperature is 4.2 Kelvin. That means 4.2 is the critical temperature for mercury. It was initially for mercury, and later on many superconducting materials are discovered. Here I have shown what is critical temperature. Critical temperature means the temperature at which the resistivity becomes zero. Since we are cooling the material, that means there is a variation in temperature, and at a particular value of T, the resistivity comes to zero. This particular temperature is termed as critical temperature, or it can also be designated as transition temperature. Below the Tc value, the material is superconductor. That means T less than Tc, then the state of the material is superconductor, and for T greater than Tc, it will be a normal material. That means at Tc, the behavior of the material completely changes. There are various fascinating properties of superconducting materials which we will discuss in our future lectures. They have special magnetic as well as electronic properties. Here I have shown Tc of some materials. For aluminium, we can see that the critical temperature is 1.2 Kelvin. That means aluminium behave as normal material above 1.2 K, and if the temperature of aluminium is less than 1.2 K, then this material will change from normal to a special kind of behavior, that is a superconducting behavior, as its resistivity is 0 and conductivity is infinite. The table gives the list of critical temperature of different single elements as well as alloys. Now, initially, as I have stated, that it was discovered for solid mercury. But after the discoveries, lot of series of materials have been discovered which exhibit the phenomena of superconductivity. Main examples were aluminium, which I stated Tc to be 1.2 Kelvin, niobium, magnesium, cuprates include yttrium barium oxides and iron picnides. These materials, they become superconductor. Initially, it was found that there are 24 elements which can become superconductor, and along with these elements, there were some alloys which show the phenomena of superconductivity. But with the recent discoveries and with the new technology, new superconductors are continuously being discovered. All materials cannot be superconductor. There are some specific materials which show the phenomena of superconductivity. That means some specific materials can have a zero resistivity phenomena, infinite conductivity phenomena on cooling. Critical temperature exhibit in these type of materials, below which they are superconductor and above which they are normal. Now, I'm showing some criteria for the materials. On their basis, the material will be normal or superconductor. The first basic criteria for the occurrence of superconductivity is that metallic substances for which the number of valence electron lies between 2 and 8, that materials can exhibit the phenomena of superconductivity. That means a specialty must be there to exhibit the phenomena of superconductivity. Here I have shown the variation of Tc with the number of electrons. Tc versus Z graph is depicted. It is clear that if the number of valence electron have odd value, that means 357, then there is a maxima. Here Z, the number of valence electron is 3, maximum value, at 5 maxima, and at 7 it is clearly evident that critical temperature Tc have maxima, whereas for even values, the graph shows a dip. Next important criteria for occurrence of the superconductivity is that the value of critical temperature Tc, it strongly depends on the atomic volume. It is found that Tc is proportional to atomic volume to a factor x. The next is, if we increase the current, then it has been found that at a particular value of current, it can again become a normal conductor. So if we are making a material to be a superconductor, then current is also the deciding factor which will decide whether the material will be normal or superconductor. The next important criteria, all the elements which have different phases, for example, manganese can exist as alpha and beta phase, but all the phases of a particular element, they are not conductive to produce the phenomena of superconductivity. In the case of manganese, alpha manganese has a property that it can exhibit the phenomena of superconductivity. Similar is the condition for tungsten, but with the dissimilarity that beta tungsten has property that it can produce superconductivity. So we can say for a definite value of Z, certain crystal structures are there which are more favorable than their other counterparts. If we see elements in a periodic table, then it is found that for elements in a row of periodic table, the critical temperature designated as Tc, it is found to be directly proportional to the square of Z. Here I have shown it by a graph. We can see that Tc versus Z square graph for elements in a row of periodic table, the graph is a straight line depicting the direct proportionality relation. The next important criteria for the occurrence of superconductivity is that we must have n rho to be greater than 10 raised to power 6. Here n means the number of valence electron per centimeter cube and rho being the resistivity at 20 degrees Celsius in ESU. So the condition that must be followed for material for the occurrence of superconductivity is n rho greater than 10 raised to power 6. And it is observed that monovalent matters, they are generally not superconductors. That means these materials cannot be show phenomena of superconductivity. Next criteria is ferromagnetic and antiferromagnetic materials. These materials are not superconductors. The next important criteria for the occurrence of superconductivity is that the materials which are conductors, not I have to say conductors, but I can say that they are good conductors at room temperature. They are not superconductors. The example is silver, gold, and copper. We are well familiar with these examples that these materials are the best conductor of electricity. But these normal metals, which are good conductors, they are not superconductors. So the misconception that if a material is good conductor, then it will be superconductor is false. So these are the important criteria for a material to become a superconductor. Thank you, students. This was a lecture regarding the material definition and important criteria of superconductivity. In our next lecture, we will study an important effect on the basis of superconductivity. That effect is Meissner effect. Thank you, students, for watching.